I am Alan Darden. I am concluding the addiction, love them or uh, leave them portion of this debate. And I would first like to thank Heidi, Teresa, Annika, and Carolyn for their contributions to this debate. In my closing remarks, I would like to close with three stories, which, in my view, help describe the importance of leaving them. The first one is about a family that I knew whose mother and father were both addicts. And as young children, they were abandoned by their parents. And one ended up in foster care. And for years and years and years, I never knew where he went. But later on, I'd find out that he had been in several different foster cares as he grew up. His sister, unfortunately, was found rolled up in a carpet underneath a house in some strange area. She was only 15 years old. All of this was due to the parents both being drug addicts. The second story is about a young lady that I met through some other people that I knew who came one time. Their parents came to me because the daughter was hanging out with a young man that wasn't very good for her. And so I would speak with her sometimes. We'd have conversations. Her parents were loving people and were trying to make sure that she stayed out of trouble. But she really fell for this guy. And he wasn't right for her. And then one day she came to my office and she said, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Sure, ask me a question." She says, "Is it possible to love somebody that you can't be with?" And I think I must have sat there for a moment, and it was because I was astounded by the mature question that she asked. And I said to her, "Yes, it is possible to love somebody that you can't be with." And then I said, if more adults, people would understand that, there would be a lot more stability and happiness in families and in relationships. And then finally, the last one I want to tell about is I went to a funeral one time of someone whose father had died. And the family was a fairly big family. One of the older uncles in the family was a drug addict and had been for probably over 50 years and was estranged from the family. But he came to the funeral. And as the family was getting up to talk about their father and who they had lost, finally it quieted down, and just then this one uncle got up. And you could tell he was older now, and he was kind of stooped over and slow, and the drugs had really kind of taken over his life. But he walked up to the podium, and said, "I want to tell everybody one thing about my life. My father wanted me to go right, and I decided to go left." What's the moral of those three stories? The first one is, it's better to leave the addicted person in order to save the family. Those two children did not deserve what they got from their addictive parents. The second one about the young lady is that even though we love someone, there are times when we must leave them for the safety of ourselves and the other family members. Very important. Can you love someone but not be with them? And then finally, the last one was, people have to take responsibility for their own lives, and particularly when it comes to drug addiction, because drugs keep the loving person that you know away. In most cases, when you're trying to talk to them, you're talking to a drug, not to the person that you love. And if they refuse to give those things up, it is best to leave them. And we pray that they come to the same conclusion that this elderly gentleman came to, that it wasn't his dad's fault or the people that loved him's fault, but that was something that he chose to do. So I hope that First, it's understood that we're not saying you don't love people. We're saying that there's a greater good in protecting the whole of the family until such time as that person decides that they don't, or they do want to change their lives and don't want to be involved in the activity that they're in. Addiction is damaging to more than just the addicted person. And so you want to be able to save the whole family. I want to thank you for listening to us. I hope there are things that we said that resonate with you. And that, again, I thank all those that participated in this debate. Thank you.